on Cincy Dayton Road in West. Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet, put your hands together, and make some noise as your 2021 Lakota East Marching Thunderhawks takes the field for your pregame entertainment. They are led onto the field by drum majors Lena Lisi, Jack Nominoff, Haley Bowden, Maria Hudipole, and Emma Lode. Once again, make some noise for your 2021 Lakota East Marching Thunderhawks. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a country with freedoms like no other. To honor America and those who have courageously served, we invite you to stand as the veterans of foreign wars post 7696 present the colors of our country for the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Please remain standing for the Lakota East alma mater, oh Lakota East. The Boston Thunderhawks are under the direction of Kevin Engel, Matt Whaley, and Rob Tanner. The band and staff would like to extend a big thank you to the Lakota East Upbeat Club and our army of volunteers that help make everything possible. Also, don't forget, tomorrow is Tag Day. It is the Lakota East Band's biggest fundraiser of the year. Members of the band will be in our community from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. collecting tax-deductible donations that will be used to purchase instruments, uniforms, and supplies for this great program. You can also stop by the high school from 11 to 3 and drop off your donation in person. If you do, you can see performances by the ensemble. Find all the details at the Lakota East Band's website, lakotaeastbands.org. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your Lakota East Thunderhawks. Superintendent Principal Athletic Director of Lakota East High School, Central East of you, cordial welcome. We're pleased that you're here at tonight's contest. Lakota East High School and Moeller High School, members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, abide by the high standards of conduct, competition, and relations with member schools. The athletes in this game are friendly rivals. While play may be fierce, all in attendance tonight are reminded this is a game between high school student athletes and high standards of sportsmanship are expected at all times.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2021 high school football season here at Lakota East High School, home of the Thunderhawks. Tonight we kick off the season here at the Hawks Nest with a cross-conference game between your Thunderhawks and the Moeller Crusaders of the GCL. I'm Dave Royce with my partner in the booth, Ken Yablonsky. And Ken, what a way to start off Friday Night Lights with this non-conference matchup.
Dave, Friday Night Football is back. The crowd's here. The band's here. It's great to see people in the stands. Great to see a full stadium. Got a nice warm night here. Lakota East, Moeller, I think we're in for a big treat here.
Boy, you hit the nail on the head there, Ken. It is a warm evening out here. I think it's about in the mid to upper 80s. I'm sure the turf's probably close to 90, 95 degrees down there, so we'll keep an eye on that with the boys drinking water on both sides. But, yeah, what a great matchup here between the GMC and the GCL. Got a few of those games going on this evening across the conference with some GMC-GCL matchups.
Yeah, you got LaSalle, or you got St. X playing Lakota West. Crosstown, you got this game here. Dave, this is the second time these teams have met. I wasn't quite sure if they had met, but the game notes here say it's a second meeting. They last played in 2012, Moeller winning that game 48-20. So two teams that aren't necessarily familiar with each other. Second-year coach Mark Elder for Moeller, trying to install some new things. Rick Haynes for East in his 13th season. Moeller should expect East with their triple option offense, and we'll just see what happens here.
Yeah, there's a good picture of Coach Rick Haynes there for the Lakota East Thunderhawks getting ready for the kickoff here. As Coach is messing with his headset, maybe hopefully that's not working for him on the home opener here. But yeah, big matchup here. Definitely going to be a challenge for East, as the GCL is always strong. And like you said, there's a couple of matchups. LaSalle's going to go against Colerain tonight. That's always a good matchup there too, with Colerain West, two big opponents here in the GMC, as the East has elected to kick off, I think, as it looks like Trevor Hoffman's going to be doing the duties here for the Thunderhawks.
Dave,
on the kicking duties.
You mentioned the GCL here, dubbed one of the top 5 football conferences in the country. 4 teams strong: Elder, LaSalle, St. X, and Moeller. Always competitive. They always seem to match up with good opponents. And East is going to be up for a challenge here. We'll see what they can do.
Absolutely. Grew up in that league myself there, Ken, in the GCL. And, yeah, LaSalle's got a couple of state championships. I think I saw this morning St. X is ranked in the top 5 in the nation right now. Here we go for the game. Home season opener as Hoffman gets ready to kick off. And there he goes. Looks like he's going to get down to about the 2 or 3 yard line as the Crusaders take it from there. Coming up through the middle, breaks a tackle, gets driven out of bounds right around about the 23 yard line.
Yeah, Alec Weeder took the kickoff there at the 2. Good run back.
Yeah, Weeder broke a tackle there about the 15 yard line, got about 5 or 6 extra yards. And looks like they're going to start off right around the 23, 24 yard lines where they're going to set it down.
You know, Dave, East had their scrimmage last Thursday. They scrimmaged against LaSalle. Unfortunately, the rain won the game. Apparently, they had 3 possessions in, and then they had to call the game due to bad weather conditions. So East hasn't, they've practiced a bunch, but they haven't been on the field against an opponent like you'd expect.
So Moeller comes out with their quarterback from last year, no Gasselbrock. He hands off up the middle, not a whole lot there, as the East defensive line shut that down. And
looked like some confusion there. There was some whistles before the play, and
that's what I thought I heard too, but they played on. Looks like he got a gain of a yard. Here's a replay for you.
Hasselbrock did it, and the lineman stopped a little bit from continuing the play there, and the blocking was late.
And that was
a nice tackle by
Weeder again on the run. Looked like he's the set back there with Noah. Like I was getting ready to say, Ken, Noah had quite a few games under his belt from last year. He drops back, slings one down field. He's got a wide open receiver, but he's out of bounds, and he drops
and that went to
the
one
pigskin right there about the 39 yard line. That was going to be a big one for the Crusaders.
Brandon White, one of their favorite targets. Hasselbrock connected with him a bunch last season.
You see Noah throwing the ball down. He just gets a little too far down the white stripe there because he definitely got behind the defender. And so that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Crusaders. And this is just what East wants here, pin them back deep on the first possession, force a punt.
Yeah, they're going to rely on their corners here on this 3rd and long. Hasselbrock in the shotgun.
Yep, Noah goes back, throws one off. That looks like it bounced off the turf, but it looks like he maybe bounced off his foot.
That is behind the line of scrimmage, which means it's a live ball he could pick up there.
That's going to be a gain or a loss, actually.
And
it's
you have to think the Hawks are happy with that defensive stand.
Absolutely. Here comes a little replay for us.
Again, and Gasselbrock gets it off. It does hit off his foot.
Throws it off his foot. Good hands there by the running back to keep that alive, but he ended up losing a yard, so that brings up 4th and 10. And
Hawks should get the ball in relatively good field position here.
Moeller's going to punt. It looks like it's going to be not a very good punt either. So it looked like that was Kurt Thompson for the punting duties for Moeller, number 18.
A little extracurricular action between Charlie Kenrich and L.J. Robinson there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, Dave, down the rest of the game here. See if there's a little, these boys know each other. They grow up in the same neighborhood, a lot of them, and friendly rivalry here.
Yes, sir. I was just mentioning here before we went on the broadcast, a couple of young men in our own neighborhood here in the Lakota East area that go over to Moeller. So a lot of familiar faces on both sides of the ball here.
So East is going to start their offensive season at the 30. Little discussion here on before we go. Referees consulting on something.
And we'll have our starting quarterback from last year, TJ Kaufman, back in there at the helm. Number 1, TJ had a big season last year. I think he finished number 2 in the GMC on passing yards. So we know Coach likes to run the option a lot. So we'll see if he lets TJ throw the ball. First play up, right up the middle. He's going to go up to the 30, 40, 50, 45-yard line. He's rumbling, bumbling. He's going to get rented out of bounds just around the 30-yard line. And
that was Eric Davis right up the fullback position, and that's what was expected on this play, Dave. You can't fault anything. But watch Davis break through the hole here. Great up-front blocking. Habathier and Seraveld there. Nice downfield block by receiver Nick Rabin.
Big run on the first play of the game for East. That offensive line blows up a big hole. You could have driven a truck through there, Ken. So now TJ gets up under center. This time he fakes it and flips it out to number 5.
Charlie
he looks like he's got a
Kenrich
big hole.
He's down the side.
Touchdown, Thunderhawks.
Here comes
Charlie
that play
Kendrich takes it to the house.
So explosive there off the handoff, Dave. As soon as he touches the ball, he just has a head of steam.
I'll tell you, Ken, he was a load last year as a junior, and as a senior, he's just bigger, stronger. Here you see Charlie going down the right-hand side. Nobody's going to single tackle him. That DB does a pretty good job, though, after he drags him a few yards, but he takes him into the end zone for 6.
Charlie will be a freshman next year at Purdue University, and I'm sure the Boilermaker coaches enjoyed that first play from scrimmage for him.
Absolutely. Young man's a good kid. Had a couple of offers and settled on Purdue and hope him success, but we want to see him do a lot of stuff here as he takes the PAT in. That's Kendricks also.
Right up the middle, untouched.
So East puts 6 and then follows it up with 2 more. As Kendricks does it all on that series with the initial big run, though, by Eric Davis.
And you can't ask for a much better start than what the Hawks did there. Beautiful block by Caden Hibbard there.
So they said that he wasn't in on the initial run. That was the touchdown there.
Gotcha.
We thought they were lining up for a 2-point conversion. So I guess they're saying his knee hit right before he reached across the goal line on that initial run. So Kendricks gets it back. He gets his 6 either way. And East comes in for the PAT up through the middle, and it's 7-0 Thunderhawks over the Crusaders.
Dave, we have egg on our face, the 5th play into the game here.
Hey, that's, what can you say? Sun's a little bit strong right in the eyes here in the booth on the far side there. So we'll take that one. But
you
7
can't draw
points.
It up any better than that for East. That's exactly what they wanted to do. They script their first couple plays. So you've got the handoff to the fullback right up the middle, and then you've got the pitch to the running back there. And Kenrich, hard to catch. So 3 minutes into the game, East on top, 7-0. Trevor Hoffman in to kick.
Hoffman's lining it up. We got a great view here of the offensive line sitting down there. That big, large law firm in the trenches there in front of TJ and Charlie, and boy, they gotta be thankful for those guys down there.
You know, Dave, they've got some experience this year. Now they're seniors. They're bigger, stronger, and East is going to rely on them to block up front.
So Hoffman takes it down to about the 5-yard line. Number 3 for the Crusaders takes it. He goes out wide, left-hand side. He's got some running room. Somebody's going to have to get him. He's got the Jets on, and he steps out just over the 50-yard line, maybe at the 49.5.
Brandon White with the return there, and that's a very impressive return. Good special teams blocking. And Brandon White's another veteran, like we talked about, another senior for the Crusaders.
He turns the Jets on and knows he didn't have much guys catching up from behind him. The kicker actually turned him in, so good on the kicker to hold him right there at midfield. And now we're going to get a big hit here, big loss. No, he breaks that tackle, breaks another one.
Caleb Gordon with the run. East looked like they slowed him down in the backfield a little bit, but he still made a positive 1 out of that.
Wow, he's had a chance to have a big play here. We're going to see on the replay.
Yeah, real nice pursuit by Nate Rosario.
So Nate had a big chance to pull him down for a big loss, and somehow they get back to the line of scrimmage.
Kesselbrock's going to throw here on second.
I see lots of hankies falling down. We'll see what that's all about. So that's going to be complete to
that is
Robinson.
Enough for a first down if it stands. We'll see who the penalty's on.
Or Thompson, that is, for the Crusaders, had the reception as the referee crew sort out what all the flags are on.
I don't know if there's multiple penalties here, Dave, or just one. About to find out. So we got defensive holding there on the Hawks.
So see if we can pick this up, holding on number 48 there, just off to the left of where the reception was. So I don't see that, but the reception resulted in a first down, which the Crusaders will take versus the penalty. And so here we get started, 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Moeller in East territory now.
I would expect Moeller to continue throwing the ball. Gesselbrock is their 7th ranked passer in Moeller
goes back,
history.
He throws a big one downfield, but way over his defender's head. But he had about a half a step there.
Again, Brandon White, the intended receiver, favorite target of Gesselbrock.
Justin Green there on the coverage for East. Going to have to watch that closely because that's the 3rd time they've come to this right-hand side, Ken, and going deep.
Yeah, they're definitely going to keep trying that. And, you know, East has been prone on their corners to get beat there, and I'm sure Moeller saw that on film.
Gasselbrock goes back. He's looking left-hand side, zings one out there, but a little too hot and behind his receiver for an incompletion. Rosario was on the coverage there.
There's Gesselbrock. When he drops back, he is very accurate. This pass was on the money, and his receiver just out of the outstretched fingertips of him.
So 8:07 here left in the first quarter, and the Hawks are up 7-0.
Hawks again forcing a 3rd and long, and if they could continue to do that, they're going to be happy on the defensive coordinator side.
Gasselbrock stays in the shotgun. He throws a little dump pass off, and East is all over that as they gang tackle him for about a 1-yard gain. Is going to bring up 4th and I'd say about 9, maybe 8.
Yep, Terrell
with
Bryant,
forward progress.
Terrell Bryant with the catch for Moeller, but he had nowhere to run.
So, Ken, we're in that zone where a little too long for a field goal, a little too short for a punt. So, looks like the Crusaders are going to line up and go for it on 4th and 8 from the 37-yard line.
Yeah, clearly a passing down with their spread offense. They've got 5 wide receivers, empty backfield.
I'd watch 18 here onto the right-hand side, his favorite target. He's going to go down the middle to the tight end, and that's big number 84.
That is Josh Caddis. Caddis, a UK signee, from what we understand. He'll be at the University of Kentucky next year. But he's open, and he's a big body to bring down. Once he catches that ball.
Caddis had quite a few catches last year. He and Noah linked up, and so when you're 4th and long and looking for good hands in the middle there, good option to look for your tight end. So that's a first down conversion. Keeps the ball in the Crusaders' hands now. Around the 18-yard line is a long left-hand sweep to number 10. He's looking for some running room, and he gets pushed out. Looks like around the 5-yard line there.
That's Terrell Bryant on the sweep carry. Bryant comes in motion behind Gesselbrock and gets the pitch.
Bryant goes wide left here, as we're going to see on the replay. He's got a blocker out there in front, and East strings that out and goes to the left-hand side now on the dive. He's dragging some players here from the Thunderhawks, and it looks like they're going to bring the ball inside the 5 down to the 1-yard line.
That's Caleb Gordon muscling his way down to the 1.
I think that was Kyle Poppy on the previous play that pushed him out. Now Noah's just going to go quarterback sneaker at 6'6". I think he's around 205, 215 with a good push. He's going to make it in there, and they're going to throw the arms up for a touchdown. Moeller.
So 2 quick scores by both offenses here. East stopping Moeller on the first possession, but then both teams marching right down the field and scoring relatively easily.
So Moeller's going to line up for the PAT here.
Here's the Moeller Faithfield in the backfield there. Their student body is very into this. Moeller with the trick formation there on the left. Looked like they were going to fake it. East took a wise time out there to stop
yeah.
So Moeller had their entire offensive line lined up on the top of the screen there. Yeah, and they were about to sneak it. East was a little confused, and Coach Haynes noticed that, and they took a timeout right on cue to stop that.
Yeah, they had number 19, Jared Merrick, who's listed as a wide receiver, senior for Moeller, lined up there in the kicking position. And as you mentioned, Ken, the offensive line was all up on the left-hand side, on the Moeller side.
You see a lot of college teams do that. You see that in the Bengals scrimmage, that Jacksonville tried to line up and do that, and then they wound up kicking from the wrong line of scrimmage, and it didn't count. In high school and college you could do it, but not in the pros. So now East did snub their attempt at a 2-point conversion, and they're just going to settle for a PAT attempt.
So it looks like number 98, Steele, is in there.
We got a piece of that.
Through, but arms go up, so they're going to say it squeaked through. But I think Rosario or somebody got a hand on that.
It was definitely deflected there, right off the kicker's foot. Here it comes again, and we'll see if we can see who got a piece coming around the end.
I think it's number 11 there for Thunderhawks. I think got a hand on it.
Got his fingertip on it. Unfortunately, his fingertip wasn't quite long enough.
Definitely kept it as a low line drive kick, but here we are at 6:26 in the first, all knotted up, 7-7.
Yeah, we're so far in for a nice offensive explosion day here, Dave. See a lot of action on both sides.
So the Moeller Crusaders lining up there, getting their kickoff team ready, and East getting their return team.
Really, it's going to be a tale of two cities here. You're going to see East with their running attack and Moeller with their passing attack.
So now we're set up.
And if East can move the ball as easily as they did the first time, they're not going to sweat this possession at all, but you'd have to think the Moeller coaching staff made some adjustments there.
So Steele's going to line up for the kickoff here. Some mix up with the footballs right now.
Quite
Surely
see who's back deep for the Hawks.
Here we go. So the Stripes bring a ball out to Steele for him to set up on the tee. And looks like we got, is that Nick Rabin and number 2 for the Hawks.
Caleb Van Hooser.
Back.
Did a lot of returns last year for the Hawks.
There's a nice solid kick by Steele. Looks like Rabin's going to take it, but fumbles it at the 1 yard line. Now he's going up the right-hand side, does a little shake and bake. Looking for some green, but gets it up to about the 15-yard line. But there are flags on the play.
Perfectly placed kick for Rabin to field it at the 1. You know, once it's in the end zone, there is no choice, dead ball, but he had to take it out in that case.
Absolutely. He went up the right-hand side. Looked like that initial move was good. He's going to find some yardage, but the Crusaders shut that down pretty quick.
He's just going to get caught for a block in the back there.
It's going to hurt the Thunderhawks big here with a block in the back. I don't know if we'll be able to catch this on the replay. There's the bobble there by Nick initially as he goes up. Starts to see some green right here, and then number 4 for the Crusaders makes just a great open field tackle.
You can see there in the screen, Rosario did push in the back a little bit. It's so hard in special teams, Dave. You see so many penalties on young players in all levels, really. A lot of penalties on runbacks.
That's going to cost the Hawks half the distance and put the ball back right about the 5 yard line as Kathman comes out with the offense, and now they got their work cut out for them, Ken.
Yeah, that's a nice shot of both lines there, Dave. East does have a size advantage in a way, and you wouldn't expect that in an East Moeller game.
No,
They've
not at all.
got some beef at the line of scrimmage.
There goes it off tackle right there. Coming up, there's Davis.
Number 34, Eric Davis.
And Davis right off of left tackle there. And that'll give East some breathing room.
There's a little seam going right between 75 and 73 there for the Hawks.
So that's what East needed. They can now not have to worry too much about the goal line. They can focus on continuing to move the ball. Moeller's got to find a way to make some tackles up front. They haven't showed that they can do that yet.
So first down Thunderhawks from the 16-yard line. Kathman hands it off again to Davis. He gets a couple.
Gets a few. He's met head on by Jewett Hayes. And Anderson.
Looks like
and
number
Anderson
58,
as well.
Anderson was on the assist with the tackle for the Crusaders.
Bring up 2nd and 9 for the Hawks.
So Hawks bring in their tight end. 87 Stowey comes into the game. Raven breaks out wide right. And there's a fake up the middle. Flip over to Charlie Kendricks. Kendricks looking, but boy, what a great open field tackle that was.
Yeah, that was a nice hit.
TJ throws this off to Kendricks, as we're going to see in the replay here. There's the nice pitch, and Charlie's got a good head of steam, and number 8 makes just an excellent open field tackle there for the Crusaders.
Cox Jr., and we were told he's one of their best tacklers pregame when we talked to the Moeller radio people up here. They said keep an eye on him because he's lightning quick on defense.
Well, he shut that one down quick, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Hawks. As Kathman goes back, looks to throw the ball, finds number 2 wide open in the middle of the field. He breaks a tackle. He's going to go down the right-hand side. If he got to some wheels, he's going to hit the 30, the 20, the 10. It's going to be a touchdown, Thunderhawks.
What a great catch and run by Van Hoosen there.
Van Hoosen catches it in the middle of the field, breaks 2 tackles, takes it down the right-hand side, and sees nothing but black end zone, Ken.
Once he turned that corner, Dave, he was gone.
Going to get a replay here as Kathman drops back, hangs in the pocket there as somebody's coming right up on him, delivers the ball right there, Ken, right in the middle. Here's that tackle break, and then it's all yak after that into the end zone.
He's just going to outrun Aiden Sargent there. And that's beautiful as a quarterback when you can throw the ball 7 yards down the field and get an 82-yard touchdown strike.
Extra point is good.
Just like that, the Hawks are back on top.
Lakota Thunderhawks 14.
So Hoffman comes in for the PAT right up the middle. And just like that, the Thunderhawks are back up 14-7 at the 4:13 point of the first quarter.
You could hear the Hawks fans down in front of us, Dave. They love that play.
So yeah, Ken, as you said, it's a great night for football. Looking out of the booth here, the stands look pretty full. The fence line is full all the way around. I look across, and as most GCL teams travel well, the Crusaders have got plenty of their fanfare in their student section as well. So just a great night here as you get a shot of the stands. They're pretty well packed, and the Crusaders definitely showed up tonight too for their season opener.
Great to be back in action here. Great, the fans love this. Happy for these seniors that get to play in front of a crowd.
Absolutely, Ken. It's a privilege to be here, right? As we saw last year with a lot of the COVID rules and restrictions that were limiting the amount of attendance that could be, and whether the band could be here, and even students. So, you know, tonight we got the band, we got the students, we got fans, parents. It's all good as the kickoff goes down to about the 2-yard line. Looks like number 3 for the Crusaders has it this time, and he's going to slip and touch a knee. So White again takes the return, and he's going to bring it up to, looks like about the 18-yard line, 19-yard line. Here you see White taking that kickoff inside the 5, looking up for something up the middle, starts to break it outside like he did on the last one, but finds
Stave Embry. Nice open field tackle there in coverage.
So now there goes on up the middle. The Crusaders break one. He's going to go all the way down the center. I don't think anybody's going to catch up with him, and the Crusaders come right back and score a touchdown on the very first play, as they run one right up the middle and completely surprise the entire Thunderhawk defense.
Caleb Gordon right down the middle and ahead of steam.
So just a quick handoff straight up the middle. Nothing's fancy about that, Ken. And number 24 for the Crusaders, that's Caleb Gordon. The junior goes for a long scamper into the end zone.
So what happens is they've got 4 wide receivers, and the Hawks secondary has to spread out. So once you break that first level, it's going to get hard to tackle you.
Yep, and nobody was catching him from behind it. So young man must have some decent wheels. Nobody gets a hand on that PAT as it goes up through. And so just a few seconds later, as we just said 14-7, it's 14-14 at the 3:55 point. And we maybe have a shootout here tonight. I don't know.
2 good offenses here. East with a nice score in the pass, and Moeller coming back, 1-play drive.
Yeah, definitely not what Coach Haynes was looking for there after that big play, big break by Van Hoser to go down and score touchdown for the Thunderhawks, for the defense to come out and go one and out.
So you knew this was going to be high scoring. I don't know if I expected 28 points in the first 8 minutes of the game, and we still have 4 minutes left in the first quarter, Dave.
Absolutely. I think if I looked correctly last night, the first game played was last night with Princeton against Anderson.
And 58 20
45 or something. So they had a 90-something total score game last night. So that'll be exciting if we get into those numbers. I don't know if the coaches will like that.
Certainly makes for a longer film session when you have multiple scores there and not many 3-and-outs.
So Moeller kicks off a little shorter this time, just inside the 10-yard line as Rabin takes it. He goes up the right-hand side again. Not a whole lot over there, but he gets some yardage, and he might get it up to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that ball kind of popped up off the foot of the Moeller kicker.
Yeah, that ball kind of shot up in the air and had some hang time, but didn't go very far. And Rabin gets it back up to the 20-yard line. But good coverage by the Crusaders You would expected that ball over the other side of the 25, maybe 30-yard line on a short kick, but the kicking team got down there, shut things down, and the Hawks will start at their 20-yard line as TJ comes out.
And you have to assume that the Hawks will go back to their fullback run a few times and a pitch to Kenrich. You know, that third down pass, obviously they like the score, but that's not going to happen too often in their repertoire.
Right.
They want ball possession. They want to hold the ball. They want to make sure Moeller doesn't have the ball in their possession. Here's a pitch off the
Ben Powell comes at the last minute and comes off to the left-hand side, and he takes the pitch. He was late coming into the huddle there.
So that's a sophomore to Benny Powell.
Benny Powell comes in, and he gets about a 12-yard run and a first down for the Hawks at the 32-yard line.
So here you see Kenrich take it, and you know, he's been flipping to Kenrich's side, and now he's going to flip over to Benny Powell's side, and a good run.
So TJ gets back up underneath center, fakes it, keeps it himself, makes a spin, dives forward, and he's going to pick up a good 4 or 5 yards and bring up second and short.
It's TJ's first carry on the season.
So he picks up 4. As Noah Roush comes in for the Hawks at the tight end position, and they line up. Looks like Davis is in the backfield, and TJ takes a look, but boy, he gets wrapped up as the defensive end just spins off the tackle on that right-hand side.
Yeah, Kathman looked like he wanted to throw the ball, and he did a good job of not fumbling there, but you see Kathman come back, and he's looking to the right-hand side to throw, and 90 comes from behind. Chase Brown, senior defensive end, it just drags him down. But Kathman's lucky he didn't lose that ball.
Yeah, he spins off that block off of Cameron, and yeah, I think TJ was going to throw it there. And yeah, you're right, Ken. He's lucky to hold on to that ball. He loses 2 yards, so brings up 3rd and 8, and now he's in the shotgun, and it's going to be forced on a passing down here, and he finds number 4 in the middle of the field. He breaks another tackle and is running, as then the Crusaders wrap up.
It's Kyle Poppy coming across the middle.
Kyle Poppy coming in, doing some double duty.
That's a new wrinkle. I didn't see Poppy on offense last year.
So
they have him listed on the roster as DB wide receiver.
There's Poppy right there in the middle. Breaks a nice tackle right there. Starts to go upfield, and here comes the gang. But I think there's yellow laundry on the field too. Yep, as we're going to hear here.
It's going to be a hold on the Hawks that's going to push them back to be 3rd and 18 instead of 1st and 10.
So bad break right there for the Hawks as they get caught for holding after a 3rd and long, and they pick up the first down. And we're at midfield. Now they're going to be back at 3rd and 20 from their own 22. And
you know, Poppy, going back to Poppy, he's a very athletic player. Could play multiple positions, and it's good to see him coming across the field with good hands catching the ball.
He's back in there, and you know, I hope the Hawks don't try to get all this at once. Maybe get half here, and then see what they have on 4th down as we do a little razzle dazzle, and that went nowhere. As I thought we were going to see maybe a face mask on Raven as his head kind of spun around there. But maybe he just lost footing. I don't know.
Yeah, he definitely changed position there after he got the handoff, changed direction.
Yeah, normally when you see the body spin that way, as we can see here in the replay, there's the fake to Davis, little pitch as he comes around. That's definitely a face mask that was missed. I don't know how the referee can miss that when he's standing right behind it. But you can see his helmet move, and when the helmet moves like that and the body flips out, that would have been what the doctor ordered for the Hawks, because that would have been an automatic first down. As the punt goes off, number 6 back, he grabs it at the 40-yard line. He's got return capability and goes down the sidelines. He's going to get a good 15, maybe 16 yards out of that return.
That was a decent punt. Was that Kenrich back there punting?
I didn't catch who was the punter.
But good hang time and just force the returner to go back. Alec Weeder has to go back on this ball to catch it.
And Weeder takes it down the left-hand side here, and
Rosario there pushes
him out.
But Moeller's going to start in Hawk territory.
Yep, I see Kendricks is going both ways. He's in at the linebacker position right there and makes a big tackle right away as Charlie's going both ways here tonight. Didn't know if that was going to happen or not.
Yeah, we saw it a few times last year, and definitely expected on a few big possessions here, you would think.
And talk about an athlete. This kid plays football. He's a good basketball player. You know why D1 programs were looking for him in multiple ones. Like we said earlier, he had choices. So as we come to the end of the first quarter, it's 14-14, Hawks against the Crusaders. To the Hawks Nest here at Lakota East High School at the end of the first quarter. It's 14-14 East against the Moeller Crusaders. And boy, has it been a good game so far in the first quarter with a total of 28 points. And the Moeller had just received the ball after a punt at the end of the quarter. And the Hawks got themselves into a little bit of trouble there right at the end of the quarter with a penalty after a first down pickup. That set them back at 3rd and 20 and forced the punt. So, you know, here we are starting the second quarter. It's hot. The students are here. The players are still fired up, playing well. It's been a great game so far, Ken.
It's been a game of big plays. You had the nice big play by Kenrich for the first Hawk score. You had the run up the middle by Gordon for Moeller. You had the pass completion for the Hawks to get them the touchdown.
So as we get ready to start the second quarter, as we flip the screen on you now, East going left to right and Moeller right to your left as they set up in the shotgun. Noah fakes the handoff and throws quickly over to 19 in the flats. He breaks one tackle and picks up some extra yards and gets down to about the 21-22 yard line.
Yeah, Gesselbrock finding fellow senior Jared Merck there on the left flat.
So as we said, the quarterback from Moeller likes to throw a lot. High percentage guy, as we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast. 7th in school history there at Moeller, and with that lineage of football that Moeller has, that's pretty impressive.
There's quite a few good athletes that have come through the men of Moeller.
So Noah stands back at 6'6", flips the ball over to number 10. He tries to string it wide to the right-hand side and gets shut down real quick by Bryant, I think, was over there on the tackle.
Bryant, the ball carrier for.
Oh, that's number.
Yep, for Moeller. And tackle by Charlie Kenrich there from the linebacker position. So 2nd and 6 for the Crusaders. And Hawks need to stop here, Dave.
Big time. They got to be able to try to hold them to a field goal attempt here. So 2nd down as motion comes back to the backfield. He'll throw it off to hand it off to 24. He finds a big hole. He's going to scamper into the end zone, but I think that's coming back as there's laundry all over the field out there.
Yep, that was a few holds on Moeller, I believe.
So Caleb Gordon gets the handoff from the Moeller quarterback, and he scampered in there pretty easy.
Middle left of our screen, you can see the illegal formation.
So we were just talking about at the end of the quarter how the Hawks hurt themselves with a penalty, and now the Crusaders, after about a 21-yard scamper into the end zone, are going to come backwards. And now it's going to be 2nd and 11 from about the 24-yard line.
Hawks need to capitalize on that penalty.
Absolutely, Ken. Defense needs to shut this down, get a little pressure. I know Noah's a big kid back there at 6'6", sees the field well, but really haven't put any pressure on him yet as he steps back, slings one to the right. No, almost number 48 for the Hawks.
Number 48 for the Thunderhawks. Jake Reisner.
Reisner almost comes up with a pick in the flat there. There's the big play and brings up 3rd and long.
Yeah, with Moeller going 5 receivers, the Hawks have to make a lot of adjustments. They don't see a lot of that in the GMC. You see a lot of pro sets, you see triple option teams. So this is an adjustment defensively that the Hawks don't typically practice against, or they
So they got 4 wide in the single set as he drops back in the pocket, flips it out to the bingo flat, and number 11.
Nate Rosario right there.
Rosario.
Bryant.
And Nate makes a big tackle for the Thunderhawks. And that's going to force a field goal attempt, it looks like here. Nope, they're going to go for it.
Yeah, that would be a long.
They're in that no man's land again that we talked about before, where they converted this.
That'd be a 42-yarder early in the season.
So they were in this situation in the first quarter, Ken, and that's when they threw to the tight end for the first down. So 4 wide, spread out, got 1 single back. He drops back. Here comes some pressure that we were talking about, and that might make him flush out, and he throws one up high, and he finds a guy wide open in the back of the end zone.
Tanell Bryant snuck to the back corner of the end zone, and Gesselbrock just puts it in his breadbasket.
Oh. So Noah gets flushed out, goes on the run, throws this on the run, pulls a dime down there into the corner as number 10 finds somehow to elude the Thunderhawk DBs on 4th and long. Golden rule, don't let anybody get behind you, right?
A good flush out by Jaden Palmore-Lett to get Hasselbrock rolling to the right, but the receiver did a great job adjusting and getting that corner.
Yeah, 2 high schoolers.
Tanell Bryant back there is the one who finds the open space for the Crusaders, and his quarterback finds him, and what a big hold was that right there. We're going to remember this play right here, Ken, later on, when you got 4th and 13 and you convert that in for a touchdown, not just a first down, but a touchdown, and now take the lead 21-14.
And you finally are happy that you're getting pressure on the quarterback. You finally flush the quarterback out to the outside, and they stepped up and made a good play. Bryant found the end zone. Gesselbrock found him.
Yep, just like you said, we were just talking about pressure, and you got the pressure, made him roll out on the run, and the wide receiver slips some DBs in the back and finds some space in the corner.
So now the Hawks are in a position to answer. They've been ahead, and Moeller's answered. Moeller now jumps ahead. We'll see if the Hawks can answer.
And I'm going to guess that's about a 38, 39-yard pass. That thing was up there for a while for somebody to run up underneath it, but there was no Hawks close to that. It was nobody but number 10 for the Crusaders, so. So as the Crusaders line up here right in front of us for the kickoff, as Rabin is back. That's a short punt, or a short kickoff, as Hawks take it, run lateral. And there's a nice, breaks a tackle there and brings it up over the 30-yard line.
It's a young man that's not afraid to take a hit. He lowered his shoulder, gave a hit, and got a couple extra yards.
I don't think he wasn't too for sure if he was supposed to take that kickoff or not.
Sometimes you got to take the opportunity, Dave.
Absolutely. That was Ethan Evans,
yeah, I
number
know
30.
In the past, sometimes the up men are instructed to catch the ball and go down, but he wanted to showcase a little bit, and it paid off.
Yeah. Evans takes it and scrambles forward and gives the Hawks some good field position to start on the 32-yard line.
So we got Benny Powell and
Kathman hands off. No, he keeps that one. He's scampering off the left-hand side. Nobody sees that. He's got it. He's going to break one loose. He's rumbling, stumbling, 20 to 10, the 5. Touchdown, Thunderhawks.
TJ Kathman with the keeper. And we just said, can the Hawks answer? The Hawks
answered. Absolutely, Ken. That's what they needed. The doctor ordered. TJ fakes this off up the center, I think, to Davis, and holds on to it. And I'd say everybody on the Moeller defense thought the ball was going up the middle till they saw Kathman in the third layer of the defense scampering down the left-hand side.
Hoffman in for the point after to tie the game.
So
It's up and
PAT's up. It looks good. And we're all knotted up at 21-21 at 9:17 in the second quarter.
Yeah, when the Hawks got up 7, or when the Hawks got up 7, Moeller answered it with one play. Moeller goes up 7, and the Hawks answer with one play.
TJ Kathman goes down the left-hand side for a 68-yard scamper.
And, you know, Dave, that's just got to fire the Hawks up in terms of being able to compete with the GMC school. Hawks are sometimes used to the slow, methodical offense, moving 10 yards at a time, 5 yards at a time. A couple big strikes, and they're going to gain a lot of confidence playing this Moeller team for games to come.
Yeah. I don't know if we got another look at that one, but, yeah, TJ looked like he had it in the belly of Davis and just yanked that thing out and then took off down the left-hand side.
So 42 points, Dave, in the first 15 minutes of this game. Hope you took the over.
Yeah. Like we said last night, GMC opener with Princeton 58 and Anderson with, I think, 45.
Hawks are going to get penalized here, Dave, for
late substitution.
Yep. Early in the season. Special teams not knowing who's supposed to be on the field when. Shouldn't hurt the Hawks too much, but definitely have to work some of those kinks out.
Yep. That makes coaches crazy, especially special teams coaches, right?
Yeah, they got the clipboard and they do their walkthroughs on who's on which types of team, and some of it's inexperience, some of it's early in the season, and sometimes it just happens.
So it cost them 5 yards. And hopefully Hoffman will get a good one off here. No real wind here tonight. The air is still. The flags aren't moving. So no competing issues there. As the kickoff goes, kind of a line drive kickoff.
It's going to be out
and
of
that's
bounds.
going to cost them again.
So Moeller's going to get relatively decent starting field position here with the kick out of bounds.
So maybe a little overcompensation there, trying to get a little extra into the ball. And looks like he hit a line drive.
Yeah,
And
so Moeller will start at the 35.
Scoots down outside about the 25-yard line. And with the penalty, he's going to bring that ball up to at least
At the 35 to start. Kind of negates the illegal substitution. Ball going out of bounds, but I don't know if that's what they're discussing. Are they discussing that because the kick was 5 yards back, that they might start at the 40? Have to get our rules interpreter here on the case.
As the discussion continues, but it looks like they're going to break chalks here and looks like it will come up to the 35-yard line. As the Crusaders line up, the Hawks are ready.
Kesselbrock's rolling out.
He's coming around. He's got somebody on him. He's going to throw it to the dirt, and he's going to say no catch. As 19 tried to get his hands underneath that.
The ball hit the ground right before Jarek Merck scooped it up, playing that ball like a shortstop on the short hop.
So here you see Noah rolls out. A little pressure here now. He's got to throw on his back foot. And he tried to smother that, so it must have squirted out the backside. Because both referees on the side and from behind both came up with incomplete. So 2nd and 10.
Hawks need to get one of these 2nd and long, 3rd and long stops so they can force a long 4th.
So there's another throw to the center of the field to White.
Kyle Poppy in on the tackle. White just comes right across on the slant. Gesselbrock finds him.
I tell you, Gesselbrock doesn't hold on to the ball too long, right? His timing is down. He drops back. He fires the ball quick to his receivers on their breaks. So, you know, DB's got to be right there, and that D-line's got to try to start putting a little bit of pressure here as he drops back again in the shotgun, looks around, throws one down the center, and that one should have been picked off. He's going to Thunderhawks, number 33 for the Hawks. Had a chance to get that. You'll see here as he zings one down the center, and that just goes through 33's hands. That would have been a big turnover for the Thunderhawks right there.
Yeah, he was in the right position there, kind of playing center field.
So,
you know, like you alluded to, Dave, Gesselbrock standing at 6'6", he stands straight up when he gets the snap. He's got
wide.
4 or 5 inches to see the entire field.
Comes back to the backfield, hands off to number 24, going down the right-hand side and gets pushed out, but not after he gets about 13 or 14 yards for a first down.
Yeah, Caleb Gordon off right tackle there, and he's had some good, powerful runs.
And Gordon was split wide, comes back to the backfield.
Justin Green finally wrangles him out of bounds, but not before Gordon picked up the first down.
And Gesselbrock just looks really comfortable in there too, Ken. He doesn't seem rattled. Seems like he's under control. Like you said, he's got a good vision of the field. Stays in the shotgun a lot, and then at 6'6", a heck of an advantage to see the field. So here he goes, hands it back off to number 24 as he's looking for some running room on the left-hand side, and the Hawks gang tackle that up quick.
A couple words exchanged out there between Tennell Bryant.
So Gordon gets the handoff again and gains about 4 yards on that.
A little chippy out there, Dave. There's a lot of talking back and forth in the secondary after plays have been over.
Boys are having a little fun on a Friday night. So the Crusaders are down to the 34-yard line as it's 2nd and 6. Single set with 4 wide. Oh, there's
Got
movement.
Some definite movement here. See if Hawks
that should be on the
offside.
offense. Number 82 shuffled back and didn't reset. And hopefully the wide referee has that. See 82 jumping back. That lineman's going to see that. So we'll see how they sort this out as 82 shuffled his feet, never really set or went in motion. And the referee on the far right-hand side came running in to get that correct. There we go, number 82.
And that's what you teach your defensive line, is to engage the offense. Once you see that, if you can push and engage or touch the offensive line and blow the play dead,
absolutely.
Once you see that false start.
So that, I think that was the nose tackle for the Hawks. Caught that.
It's going to push the Crusaders back to the 38, 2nd and 11.
As Gesselbrock goes and throws to the right-hand side quickly as trips were right to number 19.
He is going to get the first
Merck.
down. And we got a leg cramp there for the Hawks.
So here you see number 12 finding one of his favorite receivers, 19, as he spins and
looks like Draven Files on the coverage, and
Files had the tackle and looks like he came up a little weird on the leg there as the staff is out there checking him out.
see Kevin Stokes in white there, Dave, one of his trainers, fabulous trainer for the Hawks.
And as you saw there, the Moeller trainer running out right away. And that's the great thing about the high school athletics. When kids get hurt, it doesn't matter what uniform you're wearing. The athletic staffs on all these schools looking out for the health of the student athlete. As he comes off, looks like he's going to be okay.
Incidentally, that was enough for the first down for Moeller, so they're going to have it 1st and 10.
On the 26-yard line.
And the Hawks are going to have to find a way to knock down some passes or jump in front of some passes.
So we got 4 wide and a new setback in there. Number 6, that Weeder.
Yep.
As they fake the handoff to him and play a quick slant.
Brandon White, their favorite target for Gesselbrock.
And that's a good set. You'll see here 6'6" quarterback next to a 5'6" running back for the Crusaders. But that quick slant by Moeller picks up 8 yards.
Justin Green on the coverage for the Hawks, but 9-yard pickup.
9 yard. So 2nd and 1. As there's a handoff to number 6. He's going to go to the right-hand side. Weeder takes it in and gets the first down.
So not quite the big strike offense that we've been seeing, but methodically moving down the field here.
So here you see the handoff to Weeder going down the right-hand side. And that looks like that Kendricks that made the tackle there.
I think it was.
So that'll bring up 1st and goal just inside the 10-yard line, about the 9.5. As they hand off again to number 24. He goes right-hand side. They like the right-hand side as he hit the pylon, but the ball came loose. And I don't see a signal yet.
I think they're saying he was down just before the end zone. About the 1-inch line.
So that was Gordon with the run.
Must have said his knee hit down right before the ball crossed the pylon.
See if we can see this. Here goes 24. And the quarterback trips up there and he's... Oh, there, the ball was loose. Ball came out. And looks like Moeller recovered here. You'll see there's the hit by number 7. And the ball's out. Great job, guys, on the camera.
Matt Preston and Clay Seraveld, top-notch cameramen.
And now Moeller goes in and just drives it straight through for a touchdown from that half-yard line. And they're going to go up 27-21 here with 6:27 left in the 2nd quarter.
Caleb Gordon with the exclamation punch right up the gut for half-yard.
And boy, what a big play this would have been, Ken, if the Hawks could have came up with this ball right here on the 1-inch line.
Yeah, a few things, Dave. I mean, obviously they're right on the 1, and the ball squirted out of bounds. If the ball squirts out the back of the end zone, that's going to be the Hawks' ball on a touchback.
Absolutely.
The fact that it squirted out the side, Moeller keeps the ball at the point of fumble.
So the PAT's good, but I see more laundry down. And I guess maybe they're going to assess this on the kickoff. But yeah, Ken, good point there on which way that ball bounces. Looks like Poppy had a chance to jump on that, but just couldn't get over the white shirts that were around him.
So we had a running into the kicker there after the field goal attempt, after the PAT attempt. That's going to allow Moeller to kick the ball 5 yards closer.
I'll tell you, in a game like this, penalties are going to come back to haunt you and hurt you. You need to play a clean game when both offenses are ticking.
6:27 left in the half, Dave. That's probably enough for 3 to 5 more scores.
Yeah, as things have been going here. So Moeller makes a substantial drive there, as they had a few setbacks but recovered from them and continued to bring the ball down. As you see a shot there of the Crusaders student section.
Is that vintage jersey night there? I saw an old Philadelphia Flyers hockey jersey, a Seattle Seahawks football jersey.
Yeah. So I believe it's a blackout on this side for the Thunderhawks, and it must be a vintage jersey night there for the Crusaders student body. So. Van Hoosen back for the Hawks.
Today we've seen 7 touchdowns so far in this game.
Here's Steele for the Crusaders on the kickoff. And it's going to come up a little short, too, about the 12-yard line as the Hawks are going to come up the right-hand side. That looks like it's number 11. Rosario takes that.
I'm surprised the Moeller kicker didn't get that in the end zone, being that much closer.
Yeah.
Because he'd come close on the first 2 kicks, kicking it to the 1.
Here you go. Rosario takes that about the 16-yard line.
Last 2 kickoffs have been relative pop-ups.
As you can see there, the Crusaders get down the field quick in coverage. And Nate's had a good game. We've said his name quite a few times during the game. And young man's having a good night as the East offense comes out under Kathman's helm as TJ gets under center here. Looks like you got Davis and Charlie in the back as Charlie goes wide left, stutters a little bit, breaks a tackle, coming down the right-hand side, picks up some extra yards after a good stiff arm.
Yep, there is a penalty on the play, but
and gains about 15 yards up to the 40-yard line, but I think that one's coming back, Ken.
Kendrick did a nice job breaking the tackle of Jacob Petticord, had him in his grasp, and I don't know if there was another block that came from the backside there. We're about to find out.
So we got holding on the tight end for the Thunderhawks.
Noah Rouch on the hold there.
As we're going to get a second shot. There's the fake to Davis and
watch Kendrick keep his feet moving here. Watch when Petticord has him and Aid has him.
Oh, that's
Cox.
I'm going to call that a soft block in the back right there. That's pretty soft flag.
So 1st and 14.
So after a 15-yard pickup, we go back the opposite way. So TJ throws it out into the flat and looking for somebody to break a tackle, make some space here as the Hawks pick up about 6 yards there on that.
Caleb Van Hooser with the catch. Yeah, they're looking for Van Hooser to catch that ball and break the tackle like he did. So 2nd and long.
Plenty of time on the clock here in the half. As we're taking a really long time to get this play in.
Yeah, it looks like some confusion. You'd have to imagine the Hawks have to take a timeout here. Play clock isn't running.
Yeah, I don't see a play clock running tonight to know where we are, but it's got to be really close. As TJ goes back, stays in the throwing position and tosses one down the center, but it gets broken up. So it looks
almost
like he was
nice catch up the middle by Poppy.
Looked like he
So
had
Poppy
Rabin
Davis.
and Poppy both in there.
A lot of confusion there on that play all around.
That's going to bring up 3rd down.
So yeah, 3rd and 9, rare 2 back-to-back passes for the Hawks, 1st and 2nd. You don't see that too often.
And looked like the receivers were both in the exact same spot. As you were saying, looked like there was some confusion.
You saw 2 receivers there. I saw one. So not sure what that play was, but now TJ's back there by himself.
Throws it into a little screenplay. There's nice blocking up front. And I'd like to see the Hawks do that a little bit more. There's not enough draws and screenplays and little throws to the tight end in this option offense. And there you go. You're going to see a great execution here, Ken, of the screen. He's in the shotgun and tosses it over. He's got
That's Van Houston.
Van Houston's got Severfield out front there blocking and picks up the 1st down.
The Hawks with back-to-back-to-back passing plays, good enough for 1st down on 3rd. 4.5 minutes left here in the half, down 7.
TJ up underneath center. And fakes one up the middle. Doesn't give it to Davis, keeps it himself, and he'll scamper up for about 18 yards for another first down. Thunderhawks.
You can tell, Dave, that those guys work together and work on this because Kathman's going to have a read here. He's going to be able to give it to Davis. It's not Davis's option if he's going to keep it. If Kathman thinks he can take it, he'll pull it back and go with it. Davis has to read that and automatically become a blocker upfield, which he did a nice job there of blocking.
Absolutely, Ken. And Davis even gets to the third level of the defense and looks back to see if TJ's behind him, and he was. So nice work by those two guys together. And now TJ fakes it again, keeps it himself, goes off the right-hand side, falls forward for some good positive yardage.
Yeah, he was hit right away, but he's got enough momentum to get ahead for 4 or 5 yards. And Hawks will take that all day long. We'll take 4 yards and a cloud of dust every time.
Absolutely. They actually give him 6 yards on that. Just like you said here, Ken, there's TJ keeping the ball, goes in with a head of steam, and everything falls forward. And picks up 6 yards. So 2nd and 4 here from the 41-yard line. TJ goes back, looks to pass.
He's got
Doesn't
room.
see anything. He's got running room, though. Buries his head and goes forward. And it takes 2 Crusaders to bring him down.
Yeah, he did a nice job. Rashad Glenn there met him, and TJ just barreled him over for another 4 yards. He's not afraid to get hit.
There you go. You see TJ drop back. Doesn't see anything. Puts a move on the linebacker. Puts his head down on the DB. And picks up a big first down for the Thunderhawks and takes the ball down to the 33-yard line.
And Hawks are loving this. They're getting back to their basics here. Run up the middle, run up the side. Moeller has to now respect the pass since they passed 3 times and look to pass on that down.
250 and
stuff
running.
the box as much as they want to.
And the Hawks have all 3 timeouts, so plenty of time on this offensive drive as Davis goes up the middle now. And now like you were saying, the East is getting into a nice rhythm where they're throwing the ball, going up the middle, running off to the side.
A very impressive drive here to end the half. Cap it off with a score, and you can go in the locker room in a tie game.
That would be huge, and who would think that you'd be at 28-28 or at halftime here on the season opener, but hopefully that's what we're looking for.
So 2nd and medium for the Hawks, 2nd and 6. Kathman under center.
As he makes a move there and throws it off, and the Moeller was ready for the middle that time.
Davis had nowhere to go. He was met at the line.
It's like we're going to have a timeout here.
Timeout taken by...
So timeout, actually Moeller takes the timeout there at 3rd down. As we'll pause for a little bit during the timeout as both teams go to their respective sidelines.
So Dave, going to the locker room here, both teams have to be relatively happy with their offense at least. Their defense, we're back. So rejoining live action here, Dave. We just had a pass to the outside that was just dropped in front of the first down marker.
Yeah, Kathman threw a nice ball over to Van Hosen. He just couldn't keep on it. He was juggling it, but went out of bounds, and that would have been a first down too. So that is going to bring up 4th and 4. This is a huge play for the Thunderhawks right here. They just really need to just convert, nothing special, just convert a first down. They still got 3 timeouts, 1:42 left on the clock. So this is mano a mano right here. See who comes up with the big play. As Kathman's looking, he's going to throw
He's going
deep.
for it all.
Oh,
Looking for Van Heusen in the end zone there.
goes to Van Heusen, but gets a little too much air underneath that and actually throws it over his head. And that's going to force the Hawks to turn the ball over.
A little surprised by that play, Dave. You'd think
Yeah,
a
Kathman
shorter
rolls
option
out.
would be better then. But
And just like we said, you've got 2 guys in the end zone, and it's 4th and 4. We were just talking about just pick up the first down there, right? Keep possession of the ball. It's still 140, 132 now, 135, 142 when the Hawks were snapping that ball with 3 timeouts.
you know, and as fast as Moeller can get down the field, Hawks have to step up defensively here, so they don't go
Offense
in
has
the
got to
locker room
give
down
TJ
2
some
scores.
type of a look underneath there, and now Moeller throws a quick one right to the sticks.
Yeah, we're going
that's
to
gonna
see
be a
the
first
vintage
down.
Moeller 2-minute offense here. Pass, throw, get out of bounds. Pass, throw, get out of bounds. And I'm
Yep.
sure they've worked on this a ton. They've been in this situation a lot in their
They still have
GCL
one.
games.
Yep, absolutely, Ken, and they still have 1 timeout left in their pocket. And maybe the defense can step up here and make a big play. Get a sack or an INT here would be huge for the Hawks. As now we break somebody loose, and there's a tip, and nobody's there.
You know, good pressure up front by the D-line. Made Gesselbrock throw the ball more quickly than he wanted to, and it's going to bring up 2nd and long. Still a minute 25. That's plenty of time.
Like you said, I'm sure they've practiced their 2-minute drill. As it's 2nd and 10 from their own 37-yard line, 36-yard line. As he drops back, rolls right, looks back left, throws the ball off the turf though, as they were going with a little delay screen there, it looks like, Ken.
Yeah, Gesselbrock dropped back to pass, and he was looking to dump it. Hawks are dropping back into coverage, so that quick underneath is going to be good for 8 to 10 yards if Moeller could connect.
He had Weeder sneak out there at 5'6", hoping that he would get lost in the trees, and but a little bit of pressure forced him to get off his rhythm and throw the ball a little short.
The Hawks need one more stop here, and they might have a chance of getting the ball back before the half.
Gasselbrock goes back. There's the play we're talking about right there. 89 for the Thunderhawks. Jaden Palmieri-Lett gets up in the air and knocks it down.
And Hawks have got to be thrilled with that. They're going to get the ball back here.
Here we're going to see on the
Palmieri-Lett
replay.
here with his big paw on this ball.
And we just said defense needs to come up with a big play, and Paulette gets up in the air and knocks it down. I don't know if that was going to be a first down throw or not, Ken, but hey, when you can knock the ball out of the air from the defensive line, always good things are going to happen. That forces a punt. There's a bad snap over the kicker's head. He's in big trouble, and they're going to get it off. Oh, no!
They're going to call the Hawks for roughing the punter on that. He got the punt off, but got hit right after the fact. Hawks faithful not happy with that call. That's going to give Moeller a first down.
Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my, oh, my. So Caleb Van Hoser goes back over on a bad snap, as we're going to see it here.
Here
bad
comes the
snap.
hit, and here's the punt.
And
he gets hit as he's
man,
kicking the ball, not after.
Bing, bang, boom, right there. You can't blame Caleb on that one at all.
As the punter goes back to get that bad snap, he becomes a running back.
Exactly, which I think that's the rule, and I think that's what Coach Haynes is asking right now is, hey, once you have a bad snap, he becomes a runner, and he did pick up the ball and didn't kick it right away. He did move to the right and run with the ball.
And that's when he was hit.
And Caleb actually is hitting him in the act of kicking. So bad break there for the Hawks as the Crusaders take the ball back over.
Augusta Brock finds Jared Merck there on the outside. 55 seconds left.
Clock's running.
Moeller with only one timeout, Dave.
Yeah, so if the Hawks can keep them in play, Moeller may or may not have a chance here, but I'm sure Noah's got a gun as he throws another one off wide right, and he's just finding 19 all day long.
Jared Merck, very reliable hands.
Got Cam Freeman over there on the coverage, and he's going to have to play a little bit tighter and not just keep giving up 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards. But we got a flag on the far end of the field now. So the line judge on the far side in front of the Moeller bench catches an ineligible downfield. That's a huge break for the Thunderhawks right there.
Yeah, and you wonder at what point Moeller gets content with just taking a knee and going into the locker room, or are they going to run a play here? I would think they have at least one more play in them.
Yeah, it depends if he gets out of bounds or stays in bounds, right, Ken?
They do
39
have the one
seconds
timeout
left. So if he stays in bounds, they're going to have to use maybe their timeout. If he steps out of bounds, then they might get 2 more plays and take a shot depending on how deep this play is. But you got 5 wideouts. He just moved on the top right-hand side. No flag. Number 19 did. And there's the big tight end, number 84. Gasselbrack, when he needs him, finds him.
Finds Caddis, the UK commit. 30 seconds left.
But Merrick jumped on that play on the top right hand of your screen. I don't know if we can get a replay of that last play here later, but nobody saw it. There goes a flag early. There's a ball up high. Looking for Merck again. One of his favorite targets there. And, you know, you can't let a guy that's a commit to UK already, you know, go uncovered down the middle of the field. So that's 2 big catches by that tight end.
And
that has bailed.
Such a big target there at 6'4". Another ineligible downfield.
So those are covered up. So that's at the line of scrimmage, right?
5-yard penalty, 1st and 15 for the Crusaders.
So like I said on that previous play before, 19 was flanked wide right and jumped. So now Moeller goes with 4 wides, 1 back.
16 seconds and a timeout.
Weeder's back there. He hands it off to him. He looks down to the middle. Not a whole lot going there.
Moeller's going to use their last timeout with 10 seconds left. Ball in the 28. If they kick a field goal, that's a 45-yarder, which is pretty far at this level.
Hibbard with the tackle there in the center for the Thunderhawks. So they're going to put
1 second back on the clock to make it 11.
Yep.
Thank you.
So 11 seconds to go. I got the ball on the 26-yard line, and he threw about a 37-yarder before on 4th and long and scored a touchdown. So we know he's got the arm, and he's got plenty of receivers. So the Hawks got to play a tight D right here and be happy going into the locker room at 28-21 when they had an opportunity maybe to tie this game up.
And this is what high school football is about, Dave. Listen to the crowd, get behind the defense here.
Players are asking for a little bit of noise from the crowd, and they're getting it. As Gabbert goes back in the shotgun, he throws one wide right to Merck, but it goes out of bounds.
So they're going to have one more attempt with 7 seconds left. That took 4 seconds. In theory, they could get 2 plays off if they needed to.
So now what's the offensive coordinator going to call here? Is he just going to take a knee with 7, or is he going to take another shot? I'd take a shot to the end zone here if I'm calling plays. You got nothing to lose.
Legal man downfield for the 3rd time on the Crusaders.
So they've got if shoes on the coverage when they're splitting 4 and 5 wide. Somebody's not getting on the line of scrimmage and is being uncovered.
It's going to back him up to the 31.
So definitely out of field goal range again.
Second down, Moeller.
It's got to make East feel a little more comfortable. Second down.
So
Kesselbrock getting some advice from his coach there.
good look at the young man with his coach as he hustles back into the huddle to
Key
pass
for the
on
Hawks,
the play.
Dave, is they have to keep everything in front. You
Absolutely.
have to get the receiver in front of
Can't
you.
let anybody behind you.
You can allow a catch as long as you're there for the tackle right after. Just don't
So-
let him catch in the end zone.
2nd and 17. We got 4 wide, 1 in the back. Gasselbrack drops back. He's looking, he's dancing, he's throwing one deep to the end zone. And that should be offensive pass interference, but I see no hanky there at all.
Great downfield coverage there. Here's the replay again.
As Freeman had great position, Gasselbrack jumping around looking, and here in the corner, 19 just hauls him down. As Freeman had great position on him in the back of the end zone. So that'll bring us to the half with the Lakota East Thunderhawks 21 and the Moeller Crusaders 28.
We've got some great tunes to go along with all the excitement on game time here for the Thunderhawks fans. Athletic officials are seldom given the appreciation they deserve. They are given the responsibility and authority to enforce the rules of the game. Please treat the officials with the same good sportsmanship you treat the students. More music is coming up here on Game Time. Ladies and gentlemen, the Marching Thunderhawks 2021 program is entitled Horoscope. The show explores the mythology and imagery of the horoscope, space, stars, constellations, etc. Each part of the show will highlight the 12 zodiac signs in groups of 3. These signs are broken down into the elements they represent: fire, air, water, and earth. Each sign will be represented with a character portrayed by our featured performers. Each prop in the field represents the zodiac sign. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Lakota East Marching Thunderhawks present Horoscope. Gentlemen, your 2021 Marching Thunderhawks. The Marching Thunderhawks are under the direction of Kevin Engel, Maggie Way, and Rob Tanis, the band and staff. As always, I'd like to extend a big thank you to the Lakota East Rugby Club and our army of volunteers that help make everything possible. Also, don't forget, tomorrow is Tag Day. It's the Lakota East Band's biggest fundraiser of the year. Members of the band will be out in our community from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. collecting tax-deductible donations.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lakota East High School, home of the Thunderhawks. Here we got Lakota East playing the Moeller Crusaders in the season opener. Lakota's 21, Moeller 28. And boy, Ken, it's been a great first half.
Yeah, you know, Dave, if you paid to get into this game, you can't complain for a lack of offense. Both teams marching up and down the field. We've had some quick strikes. We've had some methodical drives. Had some okay defensive plays, knocking balls down, but what an offensive explosion in the first half.
Absolutely. Got some big numbers here for the first half for a total offense of 297 yards for East and 266 yards for Moeller, though they're still up 7 points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you know, the passing numbers, when we look at the passing stats, Noah Gesselbrock has 94 yards and TJ Kathman has 97 yards. However, 92 of those came on 2 catches by Caleb Van Heusen.
Yeah, the numbers look pretty even as you look down through here with first downs at 28 for Moeller, 21 for East. Passing and rushing yards are pretty close. The one thing that stands out, though, to me, and it did hurt the Thunderhawks, is they've got 5 penalties for 56 yards.
Yeah, a couple big mistakes there really costing them. And one big play, roughing the punter, which the ball was loose rolling in the end zone, and we got called for a hit on the punter right as he kicked the ball. Fans not too pleased with that. Little controversial call, but nonetheless, it stood.
As we see the think tank there break apart. And, yeah, that was a little bit questionable for me on the roughing the punter. But earlier in the half, there was a critical penalty that set East back as they were having a good drive. And then they ended up turning the ball over on downs where they could have had a chance to keep going in and driving the ball and potentially tie this up at half.
Dave, look at that crowd. You got the student section in full force with the blackout. So great to see those kids in the stands rooting on their classmates. They couldn't do it last year, able to this year. Taking full advantage of a great Friday night game to do that for their classmates.
Absolutely a great Friday night lights as the Moeller Crusaders also on the other end got their student section here. And like you said, Ken, what a privilege to be here on a Friday night playing football. We'd be remiss not to mention, you know, we've got people around the world right now, as you know, is a little special to me, and in harm's way, both military and civilian throughout the world, especially in Afghanistan. We've got things going on down in Haiti with the earthquake down there and wildfires out west. So, you know, we sit here in the booth and enjoy this great Friday night lights of Friday night football, but a lot of people doing a lot of other things on a Friday night that allows us to have the privilege and the safety to be able to do this. So shout out to them, as well as the American Legion for posting the colors earlier this evening at the beginning of the game. So
Absolutely.
East is going to receive here as the Moeller kicks off. Going left to right, right to left for East as Rabin gets the ball, likes that right-hand side. He's looking for some blockers and is trying to get up to the 20-yard line, but it's just going to come up just a little short. About the 19. They might give him the 20. We'll see what they set it at.
Yeah, so Hawks will start on offense here. You know, we were talking in halftime, Dave, that Charlie Kendrich, he had that powerful run of 30 yards, but only 2 other carries since then.
Yeah, they definitely need to get him more involved with the offense. You know, Van Heusen's leading the East on receiving with 92, but he had that big 81-yarder. With only 2 catches as well. So need to get those kind of guys involved in the offense and get this thing moving and get a change of possession right here, maybe on the next set and get the lead. As there's a misfire on the offensive line. Pretty rare there for our O-line to do that.
They're a little anxious coming out of the locker room. Probably told to really hit hard as they come off the line and be explosive, and unfortunately got dinged for a penalty there.
We're going to see a reset of that. I think that was number 77 or 76. Maybe Fitzharris over there. But the O-line's been doing a pretty good job so far. No complaints there. As they line back up after they take a 5-yard retreat, not the first play out of half that you want to see, but now TJ goes back, throws one
Wide
up
open,
to
Poppy.
Poppy. If he can break one, he's got some room. He reaches out and gets the ball up to the 24-yard line. But boy, Ken, if he can break that first tackle, there was no safety help there. He had a lot of green to run up the sidelines for a while.
A good-looking screen pass to Poppy. You know, East offense is designed to get 3-4 yards at a time, so they'll take that just as equal as a run by Davis up the middle. And Poppy does a good job stretching the ball out to get the 2 extra yards there.
Absolutely. Ball's a little high on him. Maybe if it was in the gut, he'd have been able to make a little bit quicker move on that. But we'll take the positive yardage and bring up 2nd and 6 now after the penalty. Kathman's under center. He fakes it, flips it out to Kendrich. Kendrich puts down the shoulder, and that's a big tackle by number 46, and he's happy about it.
Going to be just short of the first down, but close enough to make it 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
Joseph Jeanette there, a junior linebacker, and I guess I'd be happy too if I tackled Charlie one-on-one. Doesn't usually happen. He usually drags somebody with him, so.
Really looking forward to see him play for the Boilermakers next year.
And hoping Coach Haynes, like we said at the beginning here at the half, mixes him in a little bit more with only 3 touches in the first half. And there's a quick touch in this first series. And there's another handoff to Charlie. It breaks up the center. And he's going to get a first down. There's a nice replay, Ken. If TJ just handing the ball to Charlie, makes a big hole by the offensive line. And a shoestring tackle there.
That was great up front blocking there by the law firm of Ceraveld. Hibbard. Nope, Hibbard's on the
so that O-line
Robinson
definitely
and Habathier.
Definitely blowing up some holes there tonight as you get a good look there of the big boys up front as TJ drops back, throws a quick one over to Poppy this time, and Poppy does make that move.
Hey Dave, they must have seen something on film, or somebody must have seen something in the booth that Poppy had some cushion there that they could get the ball out in the flat to him, and he could steam ahead for 6, 7, 8 yards.
So here's a replay. That's just a quick snap over, hits him right in the numbers this time, and he does get around that DB. And Poppy goes, about 6'2", 6'3", so pretty easy target for TJ. And if they can keep linking up throughout this game and this season, well, those two are going to be real happy campers with each other.
Yeah, Poppy solely played defense last year, and this year they're having him play a couple possessions on offense as receiver, and they need that athleticism.
2 wide right up the middle as Davis makes a big hit, takes another one, and he's just going to rumble, bumble, stumble. Nobody can bring him down as Big 93 jumps on his back and rides him out of bounds but doesn't bring him down. As
just classic run, keep the feet moving, keep the feet moving, keep the feet moving, and eventually break free of the tackler.
So there's it.
Could have been
boom,
down
there's
there,
one.
could have been down there. Keeps the feet moving, gets him for another 1.5 yards. Great run by Davis.
So Davis just takes off and scampers down to the 27-yard line as he breaks 2 big tackles and takes a defensive end riding him out and still couldn't bring him down.
East coming out with authority coming off that locker room. They must have come in pretty happy, and they're coming out pumped.
So there's a fake off this time to Eric, and TJ holds on to it, goes off the left-hand side.
Going to be a gain of 1 for Kathman. You see right here, keeps it from Davis, and nice read by the tackler, Lamarck Wood, sophomore linebacker from Moeller.
Yeah, if he doesn't grab TJ there, TJ's going to scamper for 7, 8, 9 yards off that left-hand side. So real good play by that sophomore linebacker for Moeller. So brings up 2nd and 9 as Rabin and Poppy both split left and right. Davis in the backfield. So TJ rolls back, doesn't see anything. Now he throws one deep.
Poppy.
The Poppy touchdown!
Kyle Poppy with a nice route down the right-hand side, cuts inside to the end zone. Kathman finds him right in his numbers.
So nice toss by TJ Kathman, and Poppy gets behind the DB. We're going to see this. Kind of a little bit of a broken play, doesn't know what to go. Now he sees Poppy at the last minute. Zings one out there over top, right in the numbers again. And quick 6 right there.
Poppy ran a very nice route, and all he had to do was look it in. Perfect pass from TJ.
Absolutely. As you said, somebody saw something. I don't know if there's a mismatch there, or Poppy said, hey, I'm beating my guy. But 3 completions in this series with a touchdown, and the Hawks will take that and tie this up 28.
Unfortunately, that PAT was missed. I don't know if
they
it was
missed
a
it.
bad snap. I don't know if he ever got the kick off. It looked like the ball was snapped and hit the ground.
As coach is not happy with that at all. Coach Haynes taking a look there on the iPad with the special teams. And like you said, I don't know if it was a bad snap or a bad hold. But Coach Haynes is looking for somebody to talk to.
So we got a 1-point game, 28-27. Hawks stormed down the field with authority. Start of the third quarter. That's the type of drive that they look for.
That's going to force them to maybe go for 2 here later in the game as things keep going the way they're going with both teams exchanging touchdowns. Like I said, going to need a big defensive stop here somewhere to flip the field. And hopefully that 1 point doesn't come back to haunt them. As
Hawks
East
forced
has to take a timeout on the kickoff as personnel are not aligned again. This is twice now, right, Ken?
Yeah, their special team's a little disorganized. Now, they've had a few changes on the coaching staff there, Dave. Coach Rick Haynes' son, Jared Haynes, moved out to Colorado, take a job out there, and they've had to reshuffle some coaches there. And, not to blame that, but
right.
These young men are...
These just looks like personnel not getting in on the right time. Looks like we had too many on that time. We had 12, and the coach took a quick timeout.
Not necessarily
I don't know if I would have used the
unexpected.
timeout there over 5 yards. I think I would have taken the 5-yard penalty there. Didn't hurt them last time when they had a late substitution, when they only had 10. To waste a timeout this early in the half when you're at a 1-point game and things have been tight the whole way. Again, we'll try to remember that too. A missed PAT and an early timeout hopefully doesn't come back to haunt us there at the end of the game. So Hoffman takes it down to about the 5-yard line as Moeller gets the ball. He breaks 1 tackle, gets up to about the 19-yard line as Brandon White has the return for Moeller Crusaders. There's a good picture of White coming off the field.
Got a chance to see some alumni at halftime when I walked around the stadium. A lot of kids that graduated 2 years ago and 3 years ago. Former quarterback Sean Church was down there and got to talk to him. Got to see some of the class of 2020 and class of 2019 down there.
Yeah, a couple of alums still hanging out before they leave to go back to school. I saw a few at the halftime myself. As Moeller drops back in the shotgun. Gasselbrock holds it off. Gordon takes it up, and we got it's like the tight end for the Crusaders is coming up.
That's big Jared Caddis.
That's their big tight end that's hurt us a few times on those critical third downs, and looks like he's cramping up. As we said at the beginning, it was a warm start, mid 80s at game time. Off the field, I'm sure on the field was probably in the 90s plus. And now that the sun is down, it feels like it's cooler than what it really is. There's a lot of humidity out there for these guys. Need to be hydrating.
Got a couple score updates, Dave, from around the GMC GCL matchups. Lakota West was ahead of St. X last we checked. Score of 14-10. LaSalle was up on Coleraine 14-7, and Elder was up on Covpath 21-0.
And those were all either at half or in the third quarter, beginning of the third quarter. So kind of surprised at that Elder score with Covington Cath 21-0. Those other two, I expect a tight battle, 4-point game and 7-point game. So I guess we had Lakota East down 2. He's cramping up 2 there, number 39.
Like 89. Jaden Pelmore left. You know, Dave, these early GMC, GCL matchups are going to make all the teams that compete in those stronger. 2 solid conferences that can compete at multiple levels.
So Jaden comes off, getting a little extra attention. Looks like he's got some cramping going there. Again, there goes a deep ball by Galbraith. He finds a guy behind the defense again, number 3. He's going to go all the way to the pay dirt. Touchdown and one quick throw by the Moeller Crusaders.
Gesselbrock just dropping it right in the hands of Brandon Wright.
We're going to see a great replay there. The big 6'6" quarterback just tosses a long ball as number 3 gets behind the defense again. That's Justin Green over there. Has struggled a little bit through the game on letting guys get behind him in the first quarter. And White just took him to the house right there for a quick 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah, again, Dave, with the widespread offense and Gesselbrock in the backfield by himself, puts the Hawks in a lot of one-on-one coverage positions. You know, they can't play zone against the 5-receiver formation.
And then you just got to go back to the golden rule of not letting anybody get behind you, as the Hawks almost got a hand on that. Van Hoser almost comes off that corner. He couldn't have missed it by much, but the PAT is good. And the Moeller Crusaders go up now 35-27 here with 7:18 in the third quarter.
So like deja vu all over again, we've seen 2 touchdowns here in the first half of this third quarter.
Absolutely.
Very similar to the way the game started, with both teams scoring after a 3 and out. And then teams scored, score and answer. So Hawks score, Moeller comes down and scores right back.
Scores right back, and as we were saying, right, coming in out of the halftime, that the Hawks getting the ball, they're going to have to score and get a stop somewhere to flip this field to be able to go in and take the lead. So
yeah, we only saw 1 punt in the first half. Or did we see 2? We saw 1 punt apiece. 1 punt by
each.
Moeller and 1 punt by the Hawks. And the 1 punt by Moeller was the snap over the punter's head that rolled back to the 2. And the Hawks got called for the late hit on that one.
Right.
You know, that goes a different way, and the Hawks could have the ball at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, that was a tough play. Like I said, I still questionable. The guys gave us a great look at it on the replay, where the kicker was literally in his motion as Caleb was hitting him. I don't know how you can pull up on that and what the textbook rule is, but that was a bad break for the Hawks as the kickoff comes up short here, as the Hawks are going to field it and take it in about the 26-7-yard line.
I'm surprised, Dave, by these short kickoffs. So the first 2 kickoffs of the game went to the 1-2 line.
Right.
And now the kicks are going to the 15. And it doesn't seem intentional that they're kicking it short to avoid a long run back guy.
Nathan Rosario takes that again and returns it. I think that's his second kickoff return of the night because of short kicks. So it's going to put the Hawks in business on the 28-yard line as TJ gets in there, got the eye behind him. But Davis and Kendrich, he hands it to Kendrich, and he gets met right at the line of scrimmage.
So that was Kendrich that we called. We need to see him a little more. And that's okay. Getting him the ball, you know, you're going to get stopped at the line a couple times, and you're going to break some through the law of averages.
Hayes, the defensive end, stops him on that one, as the Hawks regather and come up to the line of scrimmage. Again, same looking formation, but now we got Arabian was split wide to the right. Now he comes back to the left. He settles in. TJ's underneath. He's looking for a quick pass. So to Kendricks right across on a slant. That's a good looking play. I say that's there more often than not, as big as Charlie is. If you can keep that timing up and the linebackers are going to drop back.
Yeah, Dave, it's just a slant up the middle. You know, he's lined up in the slot position there, and he can just come right across the field. Kaufman can hit him in stride. He's going to pick up the first.
Yep, need to keep that young man involved in the offense like we were saying. Make sure the Crusaders are putting at least one, maybe two guys on him as TJ goes up, hands this one off. Maybe.
Sure, if he may have kept it there.
I think the ball's loose underneath. Nope, they're going to call head referee saying it's down.
Big scrum in the middle of the field. Very hard to tell.
Wait a minute, I saw the, I don't even know why there's a discussion when the white hat was already pointing to the green carpet.
As we know, Dave, the ground cannot cause a fumble. So if
right.
As soon as he hits the ground, he's down. The ball pops loose after that.
So Moeller's coming out of the pile. I see the head referee pointing down that his knee's down already.
Well, the ball was lost on the exchange there. So the ball's out. The ball's loose right here. Ground did not cause it. We'll see who came up with it.
We'll see what the referee's going to have to say here.
So as we saw in the replay, the fumble occurred on the exchange from quarterback to running back, and that's a loose ball. If it's popping around, it's a loose ball. Whoever lands on it.
Right. I was looking out, seeing the head referee pointing down to the turf as it's a dead ball. But I guess after the conference, the other referees convinced him it was otherwise. And that's exactly what East needed, not Moeller. So
that's a big turnover.
So big turnover by Moeller.
East territory.
As they'll pick the ball up in East territory on the 44-yard line, and now the defense really has to step up here and hold the Crusaders to no score.
A short field here.
There's a big stop by Kendricks. They're just pushing him back and pulling him down. Let's see where they're going to mark that, because they drug him down about 10 yards behind where they're going to call forward progress.
So you see Reesner break through the line here. Whedon with the handoff. He sees that he's not going to be able to go up the middle.
And Kendricks, and then all kinds of others. 48 comes in as well.
Rosario turns him, and Kendrick turns him, and then Reesner finishes him off. So that's one way to get Moeller out of East territory.
Yep. So I think Moeller should be thankful they only got a loss of 6 there, because they drove him about another 10 yards before they finally blew the whistles. As now we're going to go with a quick hooch here on the right-hand side, as Moeller's just going to try to get a little bit of that back.
Jared Merck. And they had Merck down, Dave, as 2 catches in the first half, that being his third, but you and I both think he had more than that.
Yeah. Gasselbrack and him have hooked up quite a few times, at least twice in a series. So there's a
So we need a third down stop. You hear the crowd getting into
quick hitch for a 3rd and 7. And very doable with this Moeller Crusader offense as they go 4 wide as a quick throw out. That looks like it's going to skip in, and it's going to hit the turf.
So East with a 3rd down stop. I have a hunch they're going to need a 4th down stop as well.
Yeah.
Can't imagine Moeller punting from here. Here's the replay as Gesselbrock rolls to his left. That's a hard throw, Dave, when you're rolling left and have to throw it with your right arm.
Even as strong of an arm as that young man has, that's a tough throw. And, you know, he almost gets it there. Just comes up a little short, and they're in that no man's land of punt field goal. So they're going to go for it again on 4th and 7, and they've been successful. This is where they look for that tight end. They got 5 wide as there's a lot of coverage, so got to get somebody on him as he breaks loose now, and he's running for his life. He slings one out there, and
pass broken up, but we've got a penalty on the field.
Incomplete by number 9 for the Hawks. Freeman.
We'll see who the penalty's on here.
Freeman with a big breakup there.
Well, if it's a legal man downfield again. Yep.
Ineligible downfield again.
Now you figure, Dave, with Kesselbrock rolling as long as he rolled. I mean, he was in motion for about a good 9 seconds there.
Yeah, you can see here, Ken, is.
So the linemen are going to release downfield here. 52 is going to be downfield. You know, he's going to cross over the original line there.
And
what a defensive play there as well.
Yeah, Freeman on Merck.
So
that's been a big matchup all night right there.
And the Hawks get the 4th down stop that they've needed all game.
Yep.
The Hawks are going to take over and hopefully with some momentum here.
So after a little bit of time off the clock, I think the ball's about in the same place as it was at the fumble. So the Hawks dodge a huge, as TJ's going to run for his life here, and he's just got to throw that ball away there. Once you feel that pressure and you're rolling out, you just got to toss it to the coach at the sidelines here.
Yeah,
not take the sack.
They wanted a screenplay setup where you allow the line to go through and then you dump it off to the backfield. See TJ drop back here.
So Moeller brings some heat right here. I think they had a blitz on. He gets away from one and can't escape the second linebacker.
Yeah, good defense on Van Heusen there.
Sellers from the Crusaders catches him from behind, and
a lot of cramping up, Dave.
Yep, gotta hydrate. My boys from the hockey team used to tease me a lot about getting that water in and hydrating, but as you can see out here, without hydration, you start to cramp up.
You know, Coach Haynes is big on pickle juice. Any of the boys that tend to get cramps, the La Rubios back in the day used to have gallons of pickle juice before 4 games. All the alumni watching will remember that.
Get that sodium in there, get that Gatorade, get that H2O. Keep the body
Speaking of pickle
hydrated.
Juice. So Dave, this is the first ever live stream game for WCC-TV on YouTube, and we want to thank our viewers for watching. Steve Kelly, I know you're watching because you already texted me, so there's your shout out. And love being able to broadcast this live so the fans that aren't comfortable in the stadium or can't get to the stadium, maybe out-of-town relatives.
Yes.
Hopefully we can continue doing this and
absolutely
bring those games to their living rooms.
Big plus to be able to people to watch from afar, and even some of those alumni that are already gone. So a couple kids are away already, back to football.
Yeah, Dave, my son's down in Alabama, and he can't wait to watch this replay. He's coaching football himself tonight, but he can't wait to go home and watch this replay.
Absolutely.
So whether you're live streaming now or whether you're watching this at midnight with a bag of chips on the couch, we thank you for watching. Absolutely.
So that last play, TJ took it up the middle, got a little bit of yardage back, and still going to be 3rd and 16. So a long 3rd down conversion looking here for the Hawks. And
Hawks in their 4-receiver 3rd and long set. Kathman going to drop back. He's going to launch it.
He's got plenty of time. He zings one out there to Kathman, or Kendrick that was, deep along with Poppy. But the Moeller Crusaders had a lot of white shirts back there too.
You know how much time he has? 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. The line did a very nice job.
I almost thought TJ was going to just take off running. There was a lot of green space there as he was sliding the feet up. I thought he was going to be able to see a lot of running space there to the right-hand side. I don't know if he would have gotten a first down, but I bet he would have got 10 or 12 at the 16 for sure and made it 4th and short and given Coach Haynes maybe something to think about on 4th down. But at 3rd and 16, definitely going to be a punt as Charlie Kendricks knocks that one back as number 6 grabs the ball and great coverage. What's the flag for?
Harry Clute getting downfield. He certainly gave him enough room to catch the ball. Clute was right on the punt returner as he caught the ball and made the tackle right away.
Absolutely. So I think maybe that was he was trying to throw the sandbag and grab the wrong paraphernalia there in his belt. So he picks the flag up. That was a great play on the punt coverage as Moeller starts off at their 37-yard line. They're looking for a deep play again, and boy, is he wide open again for a quick strike.
And Brandon White is having a field day here on the east corners.
Brandon White is just burning the tar off of the DBs right now as Justin Green again he drops back, looks right the whole way and just slings it, and Green has not within 10 yards.
And East has been susceptible to that.
But like you were saying earlier, Ken, when you're spread, you know you're man-to-man. You got to go back to that golden rule and just keep receivers in front of you. And here comes East busting through, but the PAT is good again, just barely gets it off.
One short of 70 points here combined, Dave.
But East just dug themselves a small hole here with that quick strike. And the offense has got to get moving and put this ball in the end zone.
Yeah, those quick 1- and 2-play drives.
Still early at 3:17 in the third quarter, now 42-27. But like I said, East definitely has to answer that score with a score themselves.
Yeah, so as you were saying yesterday, Dave, Princeton and Anderson put up 104 points, 103 points yesterday in their game, 58-45. And I don't know if we're approaching that right now, or
that game had 700 total yards, I think, in that game. And TJ Engelman, the quarterback for Princeton, had 544 just himself of the Princeton 700 total offensive yards. So that's going to be an interesting game when East finds themselves up against Princeton. So here we go with the kickoff, as now this one's going to go deep to Rabin, about back on the 3-yard line. He's going to go right again, looking for some green space over there, breaks one tackle and shakes the third one up to about the 16-yard line. So that's a long way to run east-west versus north-south.
And unfortunately, it looks
for about a 12-yard return, but I do see some more laundry on the field.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose half the distance to the goal here. Block in the back there.
So illegal block in the back on Lakota. So there you see Rabin gets it about the 3-yard line. Going to the right-hand side, running east to west as he breaks this tackle. And there's the block in the back right there.
Yeah, right at the end of the...
So that looks like Justin Green, and he's just not having a good night tonight on the defensive side and on the hands team here on the kick return. That's going to back up East exactly what they didn't need to the 8-yard line as TJ Catherine comes out. Offense is set. In the option, hands it off to Davis up the middle. And he's going to get 4 or 5 up the middle there.
Looks like the East line is slowed down a little bit. They didn't come, I don't know if it's scoreboard or game fatigue, but they were blocking hard coming out of the locker room, and I'd like to see them get back to that.
First half, they were blowing some big holes open, like you said, coming out of the locker room. They marched right down and controlled the line of scrimmage, and hopefully they got some fluids in them and can start opening up some big holes, because East is going to need it.
Looking for the big play here.
Davis and Kendrich in the backfield. 2 split wide as he Hands it back off the middle as Davis takes it up the center.
Got a lot of beef there on the Moeller defensive line. Big 97 Jackson Garrett at 6'3", 270 with solo tackle there. East face with a 3rd and 5.
So got to convert these third downs. Keep them short.
You're
and keep
far
possession
in
of
your
the
own
ball.
territory here. If you punt here, Moeller's going to get another short field to work with.
Right. Definitely need to get a couple of first downs. Got to get points really out of this drive somehow, as that's a broken play there. Something didn't go right, and Kathman eats it and loses about 5 or 6 yards.
Can't tell if there was a mix-up in the backfield, player going the wrong way, or if Moeller just read that play well.
Definitely confusion on 3rd and 5. And going to make it 4th and 13 as Kathman, you see here, drops back. Maybe he was looking for Rabin. Maybe he was going to roll out and throw.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to roll out and throw, and Rabin was going to be his backfield blocker.
And number 11 just came off the end and shut it down real quick as Charlie Kindrich is now on the back of the goal line.
It's off a high,
gets a nice kick.
Punt, and we ran into their player.
Oh, Lord, the wheels
Moeller's going to get 10 to 15 on that.
So from the back of the end zone, Charlie gets a pretty decent punt off. Of about 45 to 48 yards. But the Hawks just couldn't help themselves from touching the kick return. Well, you don't get your money's worth here on this. Watch this, Ken. 54 just touches him.
Yeah, he tried to get out of the way, but he was so close at the time. Is that a new feature on the field, the ref microphone?
Yes.
One of the new upgrades here besides the sound system, and the stadium looking really nice. The front entrance, brand new at the Hawks Nest.
New front entrance here when you come into the Hawks Nest. So that's going to cost them 15 yards. And you talked about a short field.
This one's,
the Crusaders are going to have a really short field now, starting at their own 22-yard line.
Giving up a score here.
As they throw one over to the flat. That's
Brandon
a busted
Wright with
play.
A rare drop. Hawks catch a break there. Second and 10. Seconds left in the third.
Fumble or an INT on this series would be huge for East, or even just to try to hold them to a field goal would be a plus for the defense. Definitely got to keep them out of the end zone. As with 43 seconds left in the third quarter, we'll see what the Crusaders line up to do here at 2nd and 10. As he hands it off, it goes up the middle. And not a lot there as he drags it forward for about 3 yards.
Caleb Gordon again on the carry for the Hawks, junior. He's had quite a few carries tonight.
I think that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter as Gasselbrock walks over towards his sidelines. I don't think he's coming back for another play. And the offense starts heading that way. So with just under 10 seconds, that's going to bring us up to the end of the third quarter with the full moon out there tonight. Moeller Crusaders 42, Lakota East 27. Welcome back to the Hawks Nest here at Lakota East High School. As we're entering into the fourth quarter here, Ken, and Moeller's taking a little bit of a lead, and they got a short field after 4 and out for East with themselves pinned back to their own goal line, and then a penalty that hitting the kick returner, and here they are on the 18-yard line, up 2 scores as Moeller throws it off to the right-hand side, and the East has got to hold them tight and a lot tighter than that and not give up first downs, and that's going to be enough just past the sticks as now Moeller's in a hurry up.
Yeah, they probably see some matchups on defense that they want to
as they hand off now to number 24, and that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, Dave, that third quarter started out the way East wanted it to with the East touchdown. And then Moeller came back and answered again. And that's the real issue of how the third quarter ended. See Gordon limping off the field a little bit, so he'll take a break, and Alec Whedon will come in.
Yeah, Gordon had the quick handoff there of whatever they were sawing on that hurry up. Haven't seen that all night, but back to your point, coming out of the locker room at halftime, East marches right down, scores. Things are looking good. Missed the PAT, though. It was 27-28, and that's the last score East has had, and Moeller's put the ball in the end zone twice since then and is knocking on the door again here at 2nd and 11. On the 11, so
the handoff to Alec.
Weeder goes into the line. And if you're Moeller, you're in no hurry here, up 2 scores. You're probably definitely in field goal range here at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, you're not in a hurry, but you're also trying to prepare for your GCL opponents.
Right.
You're not using this as a scrimmage, but you're going to be faced when you're with St. X and you're playing Elder and you're playing LaSalle.
Yep.
You're going to be faced with some situations where you need to have some sense of urgency getting to the line.
I see Moeller also has St. Ives and St. Ed's from up in the Cleveland area. 2 big football schools up there, always well. As a little just toss the number 10 on
Good
the
hit.
sprint, and a big hit by number 2.
Caleb Van Heusen. Van Heusen playing offense and defense today. There's a few
Van
Hawks
Heusen
playing
going both
offense and
ways.
defense this year.
There's the toss up to Bryant, and here comes Caleb with a big bang. And number 11.
He is all over the field. Nate Rosario, Dave.
Rosario's
I don't know if
been,
there's been a defensive play that he hasn't been in the mix.
Rosario has been all over the field, and we need a few more efforts out of his teammates there
Moeller
to
try
make
and tack
something
on
happen.
3 points here.
So Moeller going for the field goal. And the snap's back, the kick's up, and he might have pushed that to the right. No good, yeah. So from the left hash, he hits a line drive straight up and to the right side of the post. And that's going to be no good. So
That allows the Hawks to stay within 2 scores instead of being down 3 scores.
that's a huge stop now by the defense that looked like some guaranteed points for Moeller, other than taking some time off the clock, but still plenty of time left out there. But we'll remember that early timeout on the kickoff right after the first touchdown. So here we see, well, he just,
I think we got a hand on it. It looks like he just pushed it to the right.
I think he just hits this thing wrong and goes completely to the right. Looked pretty good, clean, long kick, and East will take it. So they're going to start off at the 20-yard line as Davis is back there, and TJ hands it off to him, and Moeller's definitely looking for that hole in the middle now.
Yeah, the last few runs up the middle have not gone too far for Lakota East.
Nope, and you're not seeing a single tackle, Ken. You're seeing gang tackling in there in that hole. So they're crashing down on the hole pretty well. So that big O-line's going to have to get some pushes going here and open up those big holes that we were seeing earlier.
East is going to bring in Ben Stowe as tight end. Bottom of your screen here. And possibly some confusion. Rick Haynes doesn't like what he sees. Takes a timeout. Want to take this opportunity, Dave, as we watch Coach Haynes scream at the boys, to scream at our fan base here. One of the new things for Westchester Cable is the live stream game. So asking folks watching right now, tell your friends and go on Facebook, plug the channel by social media, and we can keep this thing going. Any home games that we have here, East and West. West will have a couple games broadcast. Lakota East will have a couple games broadcast. And
Absolutely.
really looking forward to bringing these games to your living room.
One of the positive things out of COVID is Ohio High School loosening up those rules to have these games live. You got a couple of opportunities here tonight. I think we've got 4 different organizations either live streaming or doing it over audio. The Moellers has their crew here, and
none better than this crew, though.
Then the
Camera
radio
crew,
guys
our crew in the booth.
Radio guys are down on the other side, but
can't get the better in-game experience than here.
Absolutely. With our TV crew here and camera guys giving us some great shots and replays, this is a place to be right here on Westchester Cable. So as the Hawks get started back up, going left-hand side.
Van Heusen around the backside and driven out of bounds after a gain of 2, and Van Heusen slow to get up on the Moeller sideline.
And there's some more of that cramping. As we're going to see Van Heusen in motion. TJ gives it to him in the belly, and he's going to go around the left-hand side. And as we mentioned, he's playing both ways, so not getting a lot of rest, not getting a chance to get that water in and hydrate as much as he should or could.
Same with Poppy and same with Kenrich, too.
So when those boys get that chance, got to get that water in, but definitely seeing some cramps on this hot, humid night. Here at 9:26 in the evening. And the sun's down. It's still pretty humid out there.
Still pretty humid. Still about 7,000 degrees in the press box.
Yes. As he's getting some help over there by both staffs. Again, hats off to the athletic training crew on both sides of the field here as East and Moeller guys helping out the kids on both sides of the sidelines.
Next week, East will be at Milford for another non-league contest. Moeller will host Trinity High School from Trinity, Kentucky, down at Norwood Shea Stadium.
Yep.
Former stomping ground where I was assistant athletic director for years.
Interesting.
Beautiful stadium down there. A lot of history, a lot of character. Fun place to play. I'm glad Moeller's able to use that.
Yeah, so like you said, the Hawks have another non-conference game, and then it's league play, and things get a lot more important as we look into next week as some of the other GMC games going on. Colerain's going to take on X next week. Mason's going to take on Centerville. Princeton's going to go up against Loveland in the GMC, so that'll be some interesting matchups too on next Friday night.
Yeah, I'm not sure why East has another non-league contest. I thought they were playing.
TJ rolls right, looking for some space, and throws the ball behind Rabin as Nick was open, cutting across the field.
It's going to bring up a 4th down for the Hawks, and they're going to send the punting unit back out there.
On 3rd down, got to make those connections and keep these chains moving. So now it's going to bring up 4th and 7, and they're going to have to punt the ball with 8:12 left to go in the game. And the Hawks can't be turning the ball over. They need to be driving in for scores.
Talking about the GMC, the Hawks opened their GMC with back-to-back home games, September 3rd and September 10th, Middletown and Hamilton to open the league. That's a good 2 games you want to open with.
Absolutely. So Kendricks is back there, gets a good kickoff. Weeder is going to get back to return it as he makes the first guy miss. And now the gang tackling happens as he comes up just short of midfield at about the 49-yard line. Cornell with the tackle, number 58 for the Hawks.
So Hawks need to get one more stop here. Haven't stopped Moeller too many times, but on that last possession, they got advantage. They got lucky on the missed field goal by Moeller.
Right, that was what the doctor ordered, right, to get the ball back with no score, and the East offense had to move the ball, right? They had to move the ball up here and get 6 points. So as the Crusaders hand it off again to number 24, Gordon, as Gordon comes right at us at the press booth here, runs a long way for maybe a yard gain.
The Hawks are going to watch film on this one tomorrow, and then they're going to see some plays they like, but they got to clean up some of those mistakes.
Yep.
Some of the penalties they've given up, and
penalties have been huge.
Secondary needs to prevent the long pass from the receivers from getting behind them for the long pass.
I think between like you said, the mistakes is what really has hurt them. The penalties at critical times, the turnover, as now the Moeller has changed quarterbacks, I see, and has brought in, looks like number 7, Van George.
Van George is a sophomore quarterback for Moeller, giving the young man some experience there. I was going to say, we haven't seen Gesselbrock keep the ball in the keeper yet. And Van George.
So Noah is out. I'm sure his numbers look really good now for the game. Up 2 scores under 7 minutes. And with possession.
This is the strength of Moeller football, too. They can bring in some youngsters. They haven't taken out their line or their running backs yet, so this quarterback's going to get good experience. It's not going to just be garbage time at the end.
Exactly.
He's really going to learn how to compete at this level with these guys.
He was thinking about giving it to Gordon and held on to it.
So East with the hold on third. That's going to bring up a 4th for Moeller.
4th and 5 now, or 6 maybe.
They are still
Rosario again on another tackle. So we get 4th and 7.
And they're going to force a punt.
So that forces a punt. Again, defense stepping up, doing what they need to do when they need to do it. And now the O has to get moving with 5:51 and running.
See if Rabin can.
As Thompson goes back to punt. As he kind of pooches it off to the right-hand side.
Not going to be returnable, kicking it out of bounds.
I think that's exactly what he was told to do, since he kind of
aimed that
did
way.
The Australian footballs run to the right and just put a little foot on that and hit it out of bounds.
If you and I were golfing together right now, I'd say that ball went right where you aimed it.
Exactly.
So Hawks.
Mine would be in the sand trap.
Hawks down 2 scores. And they really have to move the ball. They should be seeing maybe some of Moeller's second-team defense. But you got to move down the field. You got to move down the field in a hurry.
Yeah, right here.
Back at 1-score game.
Hawks has got to show some guts here and grit down and see what they can do with the ball with 5:35 left.
Kind of felt a little early to see the second quarterback in there.
As they're going to be in these situations in this league, like you said, tough league. You're going to find yourself down sometimes. So this is a great warm-up as in a non-conference game to see what East can answer with.
And Davis off the middle there for a few.
But using those timeouts earlier. One on a kickoff and just before with a 3rd and long with the personnel not right. Be nice to be able to stop the clock here when we want to. So TJ gets in there. No real sense of urgency by East offense here. As he gets behind, throws the ball up to Poppy. And he can't hold on to it either.
Nicely thrown ball, good route, just didn't look it in.
Yeah, I think if he comes down with that, he's got has a little room to run after the catch there and some yak. But it hits off his feet or hands and drops down.
Bring up 3rd and 7 for the Hawks. Probably another passing down. Can't imagine the Hawks would punt if they don't get this in, they need a first. Both student sections still cheering on
So
their
Poppy,
respective teams.
Poppy breaks right, and Van Hoser on the closest to you. TJ's getting up underneath center as Rabin goes in motion. And he throws one up high to the right. Sees
There's
Van Heuser. Oh! As TJ tries to thread one in there between three defenders and almost does it. As Caleb comes up short, calling that one down in between the defense.
Pretty well thrown ball by TJ.
Really well thrown ball.
Passing game's so tough, Dave. I remember talking to Coach Haynes. Passing's one thing. You have a good quarterback, but it's a two-part system. You also have to catch the ball. And when you've got big defenders surrounding you, not that easy to concentrate on looking it in. So another long chance for the Hawks on 4th and 7. They are going to go for it as predicted.
And I'd like to see him just throw this ball underneath, maybe to a tight end. We haven't used him all day. Pick up 9 yards, move the chains, keep the offense rolling. Try to get something positive to end on a positive note here. As TJ rolls back, throws one. I think that's the Kendrich, or is that Poppy on the slant? That's Poppy on the slant.
Another big catch by Kyle. Coming up the middle, plenty for the first down.
So you see Kyle up there at the top of your screen.
And he just
runs a nice screen, and TJ puts it right where he can go up and grab it. Like we said, Kyle goes about 6'2", 6'3", so pretty good target for TJ to throw to. And boy, again, if those two can get chemistry going through this season, the East offense will be rolling. Now TJ looks to go for a big strike down the side of the field. There's got to be a flag there.
Does make the catch. Was he in bounds?
They're saying no, out of bounds, but it looked like there was contact going down the sideline. Nick Rabin hauls it in.
See, as Rabin comes down,
oh yes,
contact.
36 is right in his grill. Right here, he's on his hands. Nick catches it, goes out of bounds.
Not convinced he didn't toe tap the sideline, but no review in high school.
Yep. I'm looking more for the hanky there. But maybe the stripes, they probably want to run down the putters and end this. As TJ rolls off to the right-hand side, breaks a couple on a good spin.
Nice
He's going to go left-hand side. He's stumbling down inside the 20-yard line for a big first down.
Solid run by TJ Kathman. Playing PlayStation, you press B and then you press the left button.
There you go.
Had a high step, had a spin move. Great run, TJ Kathman.
Showing a little senior leadership there, being down but not out yet with 3:44 and running. So, like I said, ending a positive note here. Punch this ball in, learn from some things from tonight, and play for another Friday night. So as the Hawks start out up their 18, TJ's looking back. He pulls it down, and now the Crusaders are going to wrap him up there. And TJ does get some positive yardage out of that once he didn't see what he liked downfield.
I'd like to see a bigger sense of urgency for the Hawks.
Me too. That last series back here, like we were saying, that just kind of lackadaisical up to the line of scrimmage. Again, I'd like to see Kendrich more in part of this offense. I haven't seen Charlie touch the ball for a while in this series. As
a little confusion on where Rabin's supposed to be.
Nick Rabin gets sent back in, and now we just get a snap. And TJ Kathman's going to just have to dive on that.
That is not what you want in that situation.
And the wheels fell off the bus on that play.
You had confusion on Rabin, going left, going right, coming back on the field, and then you had a center snap when TJ Kathman wasn't looking.
And we got laundry on top of that. So, on both sides of the field. So, best thing I think can happen for East right now is they had a false start and they're going to lose a lot less than the play turned out to be. Illegal motion.
Moeller's going to opt to take the result of the play. Play was not dead on the illegal motion.
Well, that's a shame because that would have been to the favor of East for the penalty because they just lost
Yeah.
about 19 yards on that play or more.
Yeah, 3rd and 29 for the Hawks. Kathman back to pass, and he's going to look downfield.
He throws one down, looking to the end zone. Poppy's there, but not far enough.
Poppy had a step on the receiver, and ball just outside of his outstretched arms.
TJ throws a good ball down there, though. Looking for his wide receiver. And that's going to bring up 4th and 29 from the 37-yard line. And just as we were talking about something positive coming out, like I said, the wheels completely fall off the bus on that previous play. And East puts themselves in a really bad situation here. So,
yeah, complete desperation here. Kathman's going to drop back. He's going to launch it downfield. He had the receiver open.
And was looking for Charlie Kindrich, but a little high. And Charlie takes a little pop under the chin on that one.
Moeller's going to take over with 2 minutes left and a lead of 15. And we'll see what Moeller, if they run a couple snaps up the middle. East with only 1 timeout. So they're not going to be able to stop the clock there, and that's just exhaustion by Charlie Kenrich there. He has not been off the field in about an hour.
Nope. And on that last play, the ball was a little high, and he took one right about the sternum of the chest underneath the chin.
Yeah, took
might just have a little wind knocked out of him, hopefully. Because definitely a player East doesn't want to see sitting on the ground being attended by the medical staff.
Yeah, you're going to need him for your next few games. I would hope his night's over.
2 weeks when they open up GMC play against Middletown.
So you see Charlie coming off the field. Great talent for the Hawks.
As the Hawks turn that over on downs at 4th and 29. Moeller's going to have the ball with 2:01 left in this contest. And now I see some fresh numbers coming out for Moeller, but looks like they're bringing back their starting quarterback, though, with 2 minutes left. I'm guessing he's just going to hand the ball off every time, Ken. So well, there's Weeder.
Alec Weeder still in the game as well.
Lowering his head at 5'6" and picking up 9 yards.
Not quite sure.
Rosario on another tackle there. So 140 and counting as it's 2nd and 1 for the Crusaders. And my guess is it's going to be a lot of handoffs. So we saw their backup come in with the like 7-minute point that you were talking might have been a little early, and I guess coach saw enough. I don't know. You would think with the last 2 minutes you're just going to hand the ball off, but the Crusaders hand it off again, and Weeder puts his head down and gets another 10 yards.
Got a minute left here.
And I think Moeller now is going to go into the victory formation with under a minute and a first down.
Yep, a couple snaps here, and the game's going to be over. Players shaking hands there, mutual respect for one another. You know, the lines shaking hands on that every lineman shaking hands with the person across from him, and it's a lot of respect. East showed they can compete in this game in the first 3 quarters.
Absolutely.
2.5 at least.
And like you said, a lot of battles down there in those trenches on both sides of the offense and defense side of the ball. As the linemen and the players showing a lot of respect with each other, and that's what high school sports are all about, right? Is a student athlete and the camaraderie and the competitiveness of the game. So here we are at the end of our first broadcast, live broadcast. Thanks again for all those viewers out there. Stay up with Westchester Cable on social media and Facebook and see when the next broadcast will be. We thank you for watching. Both myself, Dave Royce, and Ken Yablonsky. We appreciate you. So we'll see you back here in the Hawks Nest. But this one here goes to the Moeller Crusaders 42, Lakota East Thunderhawks 27.